Good evening. We present the news summary. The police will not be issuing any more permit for public gatherings for the moment. This was announced by the Public Health Commissioner, Dr. Jude Gédéon, during this afternoon's press conference. The decision follows health concerns after the LDS motorcade over the weekend. Dr. Gédéon also talked about the status of COVID-19 in Seychelles, where 126 positive cases have been recorded to date. He also announced a reduction in the price of PCR test, which will be free of charge for some children and elderly citizens, and also the decentralization of samplings for the tests.
The total number of recovered cases is 124 out of a total of 126. So we only have 2 active cases presently. And these 2 cases are actually reaching the end of the time that they can be an active case. They are on fishing vessels. They're actually on the way out at sea to start working. The test for COVID-19 is now 2,500 rupees. Children under 12, irrespective of nationality, including Seychellois, do not pay. For foreigners, if you are 65 or over, you do not pay. Seychellois, 63 and over, you do not pay. The test can be obtained either by emailing covid19test@health.gov.sc. You'll get an appointment, or you can call this number. There are different testing stations now. They are actually sampling stations at Maison de Football, Answalo Health Center, Sainte-Anne Hospital, Ansoyal. They are being set up, and there'll be one on La Digue as well. Results will be given at these centers as well. And you also have the option of receiving your results by email.
The Minister for Tourism, Civil Aviation, Ports and Marine, Didier Doglé, says that there are a few issues that have been identified with regards to the reopening of the Seychelles International Airport. One of the issues is the fact that it takes a long time to screen and clear passengers, as the new protocol requires that passengers disembark in groups of 30. He says that SCA, along with other partners, are working together to improve the situation. So far, there are 3 Emirates flights that have arrived in the country with visitors on board. Businesses say the government has gone back on a deal to allow all foreign workers currently overseas to return. The Seychelles Chambers of Commerce was responding to yesterday's announcement to revoke their gainful occupation permits. It claims still leave sectors including hospitality and construction with a severe skills shortage.
The tables have turned at Boardwalk Restaurant. Its foreign staff who were abroad when coronavirus began sweeping the world are now unable to return. That's a headache for its owner, whose 2 businesses are both heavily reliant on overseas labour.
The people that we want back are specialized. For example, the one for Boardwalk is for the kitchen. He's specialized in Chinese. Chinese is already on my menu. I can't get a Seychellois overnight to learn Chinese cuisine.
The hospitality trade body says it's disappointed it wasn't consulted before the government's U-turn, but it acknowledges the move will create opportunities for Seychellois who were overlooked before.
You know, when you're very busy, you don't have time, and I think that was becoming something on a daily basis. And it's the problem of the country now, is the training. And so this is what we would like to put in place. So it's the opportunity, a gold opportunity for us to do now proper training for the young generation.
Foreign construction workers also face GOP restrictions, pressuring businesses to plug gaps locally, with many big building contracts already signed.
It might affect us in certain departments, for example, quantity surveying and some supervisor foremen. So we have to train more staff who are available locally now.
I think it brings around this frustration, desperation and uncertainty for the private sector. Without that consultation, the government cannot appreciate the full impact that it will have on the private sector.
Beginning this afternoon, some foreigners in hospitality, construction and other sectors were among 1,100 due to be considered for GOPs by a government committee, along with workers in the approved fields of medicine, farming and fisheries.
The Finance Minister said that due to several difficulties, the Finance Department has not yet been able to produce the report on the list of companies that have received financial assistance from the government to pay the salaries for their employees during the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the minister, there was initially a problem of lack of manpower to enable the ministry to process more than 5,000 files. Following the question of the leader of the opposition, Wivel Ramkalawan, this morning at the National Assembly, Minister Maurice Lustulalan told the Assembly that the report will be submitted to the 7th Parliament. This afternoon, the Assembly also approved the bill to amend the Civil Code after several months of discussions and debate. Also in the National Assembly, before the start of the sessions, Speaker Nicolas Prea announced the appointment of Deputy Clerk Tanya Isaac as the new clerk of the National Assembly. Mrs. Isaac was sworn in this morning before members of the Parliament. Late in the afternoon, the Assembly began debate on the Electoral Amendment Bill. The debate is to continue tomorrow. People who have been in service for at least 2 years are eligible to apply for tourism leadership and management upskilling courses. The new courses is for people with experience in the tourism industry, and the duration is 16 weeks. Medna Lauchulip, the person responsible for training from SETS, says that although the tourism industry is not performing well at the moment, the course is still relevant.
As we have seen in the news, we are not renewing the GOPs of our expats, and as we know, we do depend on expats. But let us take this time when it's quiet for us to invest in our people, because COVID will stay here, it will not go away, so we have to adapt to it. We will get back our tourists, they will come back, our tourism industry will flourish again. But by then, when our establishments are ready to operate, our people are also ready to go back to the world of work. The skills that they will gain will help them in any industry that they will choose, because it's leadership and management. It can be applicable anywhere as long as you're working with people. So this is a benefit that they will definitely gain from attending this program.
This was the news summary. Thank you for your attention.